This is about us. This is about us. Being detailed, being committed to each other's success, and knocking their...
You know, momentum's a funny thing. You get a little bit of that behind you, and you can surprise some people.
Enough talk! Let's go beat their ass!
Save by Reardon.
Ethan Walker.
Cue the Imperial March. We are back in Baltimore at Homewood Field, and the champs are in town on a Friday night, and chaos looks whole again. The cavalry has arrived from Buffalo, coming down to Baltimore as they look to get off the schneid tonight against another winless team in Waterdogs. As you see, these are the only two winless teams in the league right now. A lot of intensity we expect tonight as the Waterdogs, the 1 seed in last year's playoffs, take on the reigning champs, Chaos LC. What's happening, everyone? Thanks for hanging out with us late on a Friday night at Homewood. Drew Carter, Quint Kesenick upstairs. She and Stanwyck Birch down on the sideline in just a moment. And cue Chaos, their whole... Chaos goes to a Vineyard Vines power play, and they cash in right away. Chase Frazier is back from the Bandits.
You got to find a way for the Waterdogs to stay out of the penalty box. Because this unit is just too precise. Man in the middle. You think you're next to him, but you're not really covering him. Welcome back, Chase Frazier, the good size 26-year-old out of Vancouver. Played at Newman. Where's Newman?
D3 outside of Philly, I believe.
Cass have to find their matchups right now, and they do a good job.
Michael Sowers, one of the best players in collegiate history, is back, and he strikes first for the Dogs.
Second-year pro out of Duke and Princeton. He reminds me of Tyreek Hill. He's just that fast. His change of direction and ability to create separation so that he can shoot that and follow through.
That time Byrne couldn't handle it. Bats it ahead. Nearly a spectacular goal. That was Wes Berg, 14 in white.
Yeah, Smith would chop that ball to his teammate, who then tried to redirect it between his legs.
Right on the doorstep, McCardle cashes in. Kieran McCardle picking up where he left off after a hat trick and 7 points last week.
This is super aggressive. Waterdogs want to play better in transition. Their transition offense is one of the worst in the league coming in, but Jake Higgins carries in with confidence. The rookie out of Maryland delivers a strike and the in-tight finish. It's a big night for both these teams. 0-3. You got to stop the bleeding.
Waterdogs win the face-off. Let's go down to Sheehan with more on Towers, but before we do that, Rylan Reese with a pole goal. His first of the year. Straight from the wing to the house.
He's from the far northwest, British Columbia. Played at Stony Brook. He's a member of Team Canada, and this is what he does best. From carpet to back of the net in a blink. He's got amazing hands, the ability to corner. He reads the defense, disrespected. And then this shot's, the long stick makes, really it helps his angle. He kind of shoots around the goaltender, Blaze Reardon. Great start for the Dogs.
That's 2 goals in 12 seconds for Waterdogs. This time Chaos wins the draw with Thomas Kelly out of Virginia, class of 2011. Connor Kelly goes down to the deck and bounces it home, plus a flag. It's an and one for the former Terp.
Waterdogs have thrived off of ISOs this year.
Good. Chaos, number 10, /1 minute.
I thought Kelly was really active last week on Long Island. He was making plays. This is their 21st ISO goal of the season. We saw Sowers earlier from behind. Here's a spinning goal where Connor works back to the middle of the field and his right hand. It's a pseudo rollback for the former Maryland Terp of 2018. It's a great start for the Waterdogs, the ability to bounce back. Every week's a season. These are great players, the best on the planet. And one thing that many of them have is the ability to hit the reset button. Kelly catching Chaos, napping. Blaze Reardon on his heels. Andy Towers may need a timeout. And if he does, I want to go in that huddle because he's going to be on fire.
Get the bleep button ready. Connor Kelly from way downtown.
They give him the deuce. Stunned silence from Big Blaze. Defense is under the assumption that he's not going to attack. Oh, man. CJ Costabile. Late to the dance. Kelly opportunistic and accurate. A 1-0 lead. No longer. Woo.
Andy Towers and co again. They started last year 0-3. This was the place where they turned it around. Homewood Field. They won. Maybe another giveaway. Challen Rogers swats at it, picks it up. 10 seconds left. Smith gives it back. Frazier on the doorstep, and he buries.
When they do it right, it's sure fun to watch, and it's beautiful to watch. I like this helper from Dane Smith. They got a 2-on-1 on their side of the field. And you'll see him just read the defense. Where the Waterdogs screw up is they chase two to the ground ball, and then all of a sudden they're outflanked. Great patience on the finish from Frazier. Multiple fakes high. You get the goalie to make that first move. You get him to show his hand, and then you capitalize. It's a big goal to stop the run.
Ryan Conrad out for a two-bomb. It's another one for Connor Kelly. Two two-pointers for Kelly tonight.
Big congratulations from Dylan Ward. Blaze can't believe it. Use the earth. Grip it, rip it. Let the ground be your friend. He puts that out in front of the crease, and watch the ricochet off this turf. Potential screen as well. Having a night, Connor Kelly.
Put some English on that shot. A curveball, like he could play at Camden
yeah,
Yards.
when it's shot hard from distance, the ball's going to have spin coming out of your pocket. And then it hits the turf, and it's just going to kick a little.
Doing it himself, Thomas Kelly. Right off the faceoff, Kelly says, I got this.
T. Kelly, the 29-year-old. Looks like he's gassed. It was worth it. The old school black cleats. Rumbling, bumbling, and stumbling through the defense. He made up his mind right here. There's no turning back. You see his bloody knees and sweat. This guy was out of lacrosse for a bunch of years. He fought his way back.
He really does look like he belongs in the movie 300.
He does.
6 seconds between goals. And it's back to a 5-goal edge for the Dogs. Right now it's Connor Kelly 5, Chaos 3.
Kelly's of school.
Power play as they try to go 3 for 3. Sidewinder shot is a bullseye from Mac O'Keefe. His 5th goal of the year.
Starting to fire things up in Charm City tonight. Sun goes down. You start seeing fireworks, baby. You don't want to foul this group. They're just lethal with the stick skills. A little skip pass, left-handed rip from range. DeLuca read this low, but it kind of, I think the deception part of that was a low release and it was kind of a riser. Kind of shut the door on the Redwoods earlier tonight.
Man, he was good in that one. 1-goal win for Whipsnakes.
That's not how Coach Towers.
You don't think that's what they drew up?
Was drawing it up.
9 turnovers for Chaos. Right down Broadway. It's a pull goal for Ben Randall, and the Dogs are barking in Baltimore.
Oh, this one stings because it's off a timeout. Turnover to a run out. Carrying with confidence. Chaos need a spark or this thing's gonna continue to spiral out of control. They need a game-changing play.
That's not going to do it. Brownie has another. Back-to-back for Ryan Brown. And the former Johns Hopkins Blue Jay is looking comfy at Homewood.
Sets the pick and slips it. Pick set, which creates leverage. His man is now trailing him. He's on his back shoulder. And so he makes a beeline to the front of the net, knowing that he's got him flanked. He's got inside leverage. So that's a pick and slip to the inside.
Those two guys just have some telepathy going on.
Andy Copeland called it a love connection.
Yeah. Pull goal again. Rylan Reese, you bet! That's another 2-pointer for the Dogs, and they are all over Chaos.
Strength of his game is face-off wings. Little trailer break action. Blaze is all over this, and this thing just squirts 5-hole. He's outside the arc, changes levels, and Blaze can't believe it. He gets a pretty good chunk of that.
These Waterdogs look like the Golden State Warriors with all these long balls. Jalen Rogers thought about the 2-pointer. Here's Mac O'Keefe. Scored one of those power play goals in the first. Fires low and beats DeLuca. Right on the arc. It is a 1-pointer for O'Keefe.
O'Keefe playing with a sense of urgency, energy, tiptoeing the line. He just steps inside the 15-yard arc. O'Keefe's got to run every shift at this stage of this game. He's got 2 tonight. That's really their first 6-on-6 goal, and it comes from an ISO up top that wasn't a part of a 2-man game.
Dead even at the stripe, 9-9. Tucci's back in there. You're going to have a lot of identical records and a lot of tiebreakers. Just think about tonight. You got 2 0-3 teams. One of them would be in. Easy money for Ryan Brown. It's a hattie for Brownie. Playing at Homewood Field where he played his college ball for Johns Hopkins. That's back-to-back hat tricks.
I tell you, you talk about vision. This is Ryan Brown right here. Roll this. Watch Michael Sowers. He'll curl up beyond where Brown is and somehow sees him out of the corner of his eye. That's just amazing vision. Brown does the easy part. He's having a big night, Ryan Brown.
Here's McCardle, 10 to shoot. Down low, scooped up by Sowers. And he buries the rebound.
That was no assist. Look at the smiles. That was a shot. Watch this. This is a rollback shot. He just gets lucky that Sowers is there on the backside.
No
Come
pictures
on,
in the box score, Q. Give it to him.
Watch how beautiful this turns out to be, though.
Oh, yeah. Right on the money.
Right on the money with a bounce pass. Again, here it is.
Magic Johnson-esque.
Oh.
If you like the Dogs.
He's smiling. See?
He's smiling because he's so happy it worked out to perfection. But if you're a Dogs fan, you got to be so stoked watching this tonight. Because we know about the love connection, as Andy Copeland describes it, between Kieran McCardle and Ryan Brown.
And then can this defense continue to play tight inside?
This is a bloodbath. That's Connor Kelly. It's a 10-goal Waterdogs lead. They're going to erase their negative goal differential tonight.
Well, this is a situation where you have a two-man game on the wing. And on the weak side of the field, the Chaos defense is just in a daze. They're not marked up. So off the two-man game, for some reason, a Chaos defender just steps upfield and Kelly's able to dip and dunk.
About the night for Connor Kelly. 4 goals, including two balls. Kelly scoops it. A little two-man with Kieran McCardle. After the screen, Courier to Brown to Cash. 4 goals for number 4.
It's another pick and slip. Top of the arc. Chaos known for their two-man games. Well, the Waterdogs have taken them to school in that department tonight. Whether that's R.J. Comiskey or Mikey Schlosser, it doesn't really matter. They do look alike.
Comes to these games, and he's got more fans than the players do. I think he might be the only guy more popular at a PLL game than Paul Rabel. There's another goal for the Waterdogs. They are tripling up Chaos.
Chaos D huddles. Ball reversal here, a lob pass. The transformation or the difference in performance levels from the Waterdogs from last week to this week, pretty radical, isn't it?
It's wild. It's really impressive, too.
What was the deal last week compared to this?
I mean, last week they had a lead on Chrome, who's still undefeated, but they just couldn't finish. They're finishing tonight. This is like, either way, he left the remnants of his stick.
It's like a pop-up storefront.
Dane Smith down low goes 5-hole on Matt DeLuca.
Dane's look good, hasn't he?
Yeah, bright spots here, Q.
Yeah.
The power play has been great. Dane Smith looks good. He's got a couple goals, couple assists. I mean, positives for Chaos.
Those are positives. You know, I thought last week Wes Berg played great on Long Island. He's kind of been quiet. O'Keefe looks good tonight. Dane Smith's going to be fine. I just think they got to figure out some of the flow of their 6-on-6 sets. The power play is going to be scary good.
They're 4 for 6 tonight on power plays.
Yeah, that's pretty darn good.
Face-off win for C.J. Costabile. Sharp angle shot. Chase Frazier. Where's Sherwin Williams? Q, how about that painted corner?
He taped it up, spackled it, and painted it. Interesting that the Chaos are going with C.J. Costabile for the bulk of these faceoffs. The trail check prevents Costabile from taking the 2, so he moves it on. And there's not much there. Look at that. It's a nice angle.
Now, for Chaos fans at home, Troy Ray thought about pulling the trigger. Gets it to Challen Rogers. Here's Mac O'Keefe. Down low. It's a hat trick for Mac O'Keefe.
Number 3, Mac O'Keefe.
213 goals at Penn State for O'Keefe. We are, and he was the 6th pick in the draft from last year, and the guy can rip it left-handed.
Kind of the forgotten man with all the talk about the Canadians.
Wow, you solidify your spot in the lineup. You guarantee yourself who potentially have put themselves in jeopardy. Andy Towers is going to have to continue to make decisions in terms of what personnel.
Newsflash to the rest of the PLL. The Waterdogs have been uncaged. 18-9 debacling of Chaos on a Friday night in Baltimore.